Is it safe to raise your baby as a plant-based eater? Is it safe to raise your baby as a meat eater? Well, stick around. You're going to hear from one young woman who actually is raising her baby 100% plant-based, void of all animal and dairy products. And for this, she's being cheered by some and jeered by others. Stick around. You're in for quite a treat.
Are you ready to live the life you deserve? Do you want to feel vibrantly healthy and reach your optimal weight without dieting while being kind to animals and the planet? Then you're in the right place at the right time. Welcome to Plant-Based Eating for Health with your host, certified plant-based nutritionist, Kathleen Gage.
Well, Tosh, I'm really excited to have you on the show. I actually saw a segment on Good Morning America, and they found you on, I believe it was TikTok. Was it TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok.
They found you on TikTok, which I've become a fast fan of TikTok. And they said that you feed your baby plant-based. You're raising your baby as a plant-based baby. And apparently there's a lot of support for what you're doing, but then there's a whole group of people who are really pushing back. And so why don't you share with me and with all the people watching and listening, when did you first go plant-based? And are you vegan or are you plant-based?
So I went as vegetarian last year, like towards the start of the year. I went vegetarian, and then I didn't go vegan until the end of 2021. So right time my baby was 6 months old and starting foods, because I knew I wanted to raise her vegan. So I don't want to be, I knew it was something I wanted to do. Right. And I definitely wanted to have to be doing it by the time she started solids, so that I was feeding her all the same kind of food.
And it's so interesting because there are those people who run businesses and they've written books and they're speakers and they would love to get on Good Morning America. And here you just post something that you're doing about raising your child the healthy way. And all these people are up in arms of like, oh, how could you do that? But all we have to do is look at how sick children are today, and their diet obviously isn't the best diet. So what have you found to be the greatest benefit of feeding your baby a plant-based diet?
I feel like it's easier to cook plant-based foods. That's definitely one. And I just health benefits, definitely. I know, obviously, I've not noticed them yet because she's so young. She's only just started solids, but I know of all like the nasty things with eating meat, and obviously not just meat, just like processed meat. A lot of it's like chicken nuggets and all that kind of thing. It's just not something I want to be feeding her, and obviously it's not healthy. I know it's not healthy, so I want to be giving her the best I can. And to me, the best I can give her is home cooked plant-based meals.
Well, for people who don't quite understand, how's your baby getting proper nutrition? Because, those of us who have been plant-based and vegan for a while, we know what goes into processed meats, into factory farming, the cruelty, the anxiety, the death, all of that, and the antibiotics. More and more people are antibiotic resistant, and you're feeding your baby a very pure diet. How does she get her nutrition? Like, tell us what an average meal would be.
I try to give her something different every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to make sure that I'm getting a lot of things into her meals. So obviously she'll get fresh veg with every meal, fresh fruit with every meal. I put nutritional yeast in a lot of her meals because I know that has like obviously B12 and everything in it. Leafy greens. She has vitamin D drops, obviously like vitamin D supplements, because she's still breastfed. And I think everybody should have a vitamin D supplement, really, especially in the UK. And I'm just making sure she gets like beans and like tofu and things for like protein and all that kind of thing.
Interesting. Now, I know since you were on Good Morning America, you've been featured. I've read blog posts about you. I've seen people doing TikToks about you in a really positive way. People are like, "Yay, she's our hero," and which you really are. You're kind of leading the way of what a young mother can do to raise a healthy child. Where do you see the greatest challenge with young mothers, especially in raising their children and not knowing how to feed them a healthy diet?
I think a lot of people just don't look into it as much as I have. Like, I really, really research. I can't do anything without intense research beforehand. And obviously not everybody's like that. But I think like people blindly go into like buying things like chicken nuggets and stuff. I know I've already used that as an example, but buying things like that and thinking like they're healthy, they'll read the box and it'll say all these things, but they don't look into it enough to understand all of the things that actually go into it and why it is so unhealthy. And I think youngsters especially, that like brand new, you know what, I'm brand new, like I'm a brand new mom. You don't know what you're doing half the time. And so they're just blindly thinking, oh, this is healthy. It says it's healthy. It must be healthy. I'll give it to my child.
Well, and we see that with adults too. I'm going to be 68 pretty soon, and I see people my age that are just eating so unhealthy. I was at the grocery store earlier today, and there was a woman literally struggling to open one of the doors in the area. It was a freezer area, and she was trying to get something. And I said, "Can I help you?" And she was probably younger than I was, and I was thinking it's a lot to do with the fact that their diet is not healthy. So when you went on TikTok with that one TikTok with that one little segment, what are some of the most bizarre comments you received from people? Because I think that's, we all want to know. We want to look behind and say, well, what were people saying to you?
Somebody literally just commented, "Child services, please." Yeah, I was like, I did a video replying to the comment, and I said, like, so what? Like, they can see that my child is happy and healthy. Like, a health visitor sees her all the time. She's gaining weight like they want. She's healthy. They even told us there's nothing that can be done. So I just think it's silly, all these people, like people telling us it's child abuse. And I'm forcing her, and I hope she has a choice. I'm like, she can't talk. She's not even a year old yet. Like,
right.
She doesn't know what she wants, so how can I give her a choice?
Yeah, and it's so amazing. Well, what's amazing about that is when you look at the way people do feed their kids, they're giving them sugar, they're giving processed foods, they're giving them unhealthy carbohydrates, they're giving them dairy products, and they're getting very unhealthy little kids. I mean, why is it that we have more ADHD today? Why do we have more childhood diseases that used to be reserved for adults, like diabetes, for example? More and more kids are getting diabetes. And so something that people are doing obviously isn't working. And something that I've talked to other plant-based parents who are raising their kids plant-based, and they've got healthy children. They're out playing, they're a healthy weight. That's the thing. It's not about fat shaming people, but it is about looking at your healthy weight. So where do you see yourself as a mother of an infant, and you're raising your child in a very healthy way? So I want to congratulate you. And I know a lot of plant-based people are going, "Yay, Tasha, you're doing a great job." So where do you see yourself later on down the line? What do you see yourself being an advocate for other parents who want to raise healthy children? Do you see yourself writing a book? Do you see yourself starting your own podcast show? Do you see yourself being a TikTok influencer? What's the deal there?
My dream is to be like one of those TikTok mummy influencers. But I definitely see myself being sort of a vegan mummy influencer, because most of my content now is more about it, just educating people on veganism and different things. So people will comment something on my videos, and I'll do a video reply explaining like why what they've said is incorrect, or like they'll ask us a question and I'll explain it. Like, people are really obsessed with asking how she gets protein. So I've done like a video reply, like show like a picture showing like the top 25 sources of protein and things like that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it's interesting because that's always what people go right to is they go to how do you get your protein? And it's like, well, you get a lot of protein from plants, and spinach has a lot of protein, beans have protein. And part of the challenge is that people have been given the wrong information by the food manufacturers and the Dairy Council. I mean, it's real simple. But and I want to say, it's not that you're going to be an influencer. I think you're already an influencer. And so if you could give one message to parents who really want to raise healthy children, what would that message be?
Just like even a quick Google tells you a lot about how to do it and how to do it healthily. Like that's all. I do a lot of research, and you can find there's a lot of like articles about raising vegan children. I would say look through them. And if it's something you really want to do, just try it. Like even I've told a few people, like even one meal a day, even if you're cutting it out, like one meal a day, which has no meat or no dairy and things in it, helps. And if you're doing it, like, you know what I mean, do it slowly and not be overwhelmed, and like, just try it.
Absolutely. So is there any question that I should be asking you that I haven't asked you? Is there anything that you want people to know about who you are and what you're doing in life?
I'm not abusing my child. It's something I want everybody to understand. A lot of people seem to think that.
Well, I want to say thank you so much because you were so open and responsive to my request. I saw you on the show and I was like, I've got to get you on the podcast because I would love for more young mothers to raise their children the way you're raising your child, with a healthy diet. Because honestly, if you look at, again, the obesity rate of children, the overweightness of children, the lack of being able to focus, the anxiety, the depression, a lot of that has to do with the food choices that people make. So I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. You're raising your daughter the right way. From a plant-based vegan eater, I really support you in that. And I look forward to watching you grow more and more on TikTok, getting your message out, because you are making a difference. No matter what those haters say, don't worry about the haters. Keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great job. And this is Kathleen Gage with Vegan Visibility and Plant-Based Eating for Health. And I want to encourage everybody, really check how you're feeding your children. Check how you're feeding your spouse, your elderly parents. It does make a difference. And if you look at all the disease in the world today, all the cruelty to animal and the climate change, you have to say something's off. Why don't we change that something and become plant-based vegan eaters? This is Kathleen Gage with Plant-Based Eating for Health, wishing you a great day.
Thank you for your commitment to an ethical life through plant-based food choices. The kind of choices that are kind to your body, the environment, and most of all, animals. Be sure to leave a review and rating of the Plant-Based Eating for Health podcast show.